Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been quite a bit. I just say it's because of the mountains on my side that were blocking my views from seeing the mountains on your side. That's a book of proverb. Only a Yoruba man from Nigeria will understand it. But so fitting for what I want to share with you tonight because we're talking about mountains. Actually, a specific mountain, a mountain called Horeb in the Bible. So to get to this mountain, we start a journey from something the apostle said in Hebrew chapter 3, verse 8. Hebrew 3 8. Where the Bible says, do not harden your heart as in the rebellion on the day of testing in the wilderness. This is a pointer backward that something happened in the wilderness. If it's in the wilderness, it means it happened during the journey of the children of Israel from Egypt to Canaan. And this thing that happened in the wilderness is being referred to in Hebrew 3:8 as a time when the children of Israel hardened their heart. They rebelled, and it was on a day of testing. Oh, what happened there? Let's hear about it a bit further as we look at Psalm 95, verse 8, where the psalmist was saying, do not harden your heart as at Meribah, as on the day at Massa in the wilderness. Now we have two names, Massa and Meribah. This same thing called rebellion, when children of Israel hardened their heart, is being repeated. In verse 9 of Psalm 95, he told them when it happened. He said, when your fathers put me to test, God is the one talking here, and put me to the proof, though they had seen my work. We'll be referring back to this one later on. But it's this same matter that happened. Now, if we really want to know what happened in the wilderness, we'll now have to go to Exodus chapter 17. And in Exodus 17, we'll be reading verses 1 to 7. Please bear with me from verse 1 to 7. So we'll have a clear understanding of what happened at Meribah, the place that is also called Massa. Then all the congregation of the children of Israel, that's verse 1, set out on their journey from the wilderness of Sin, according to the commandment of the Lord. And they camped at Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore, the people contended with Moses and said, give us water that we may drink. So Moses said to them, why do you contend with me? Why do you tempt the Lord? And the people tested there for water. And the people complained against Moses and said, why is it you have brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst? So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, what shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said to Moses, go on before the people and take with you some of the elders of Israel. Also take in your hand your rod with which you struck the river, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock in Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. So he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because of the contention of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, is the Lord among us or not? So Massa, literal translation, means trial and temptation. And Meribah means quarrel or strife. So it must have been a place of quarrel, a place of strife, a place of trial, a place of temptation. And that's what happened there. They were at this place near Rephidim, right beside Mount Horeb. You know, they've been coming from the wilderness, a place of sand, loose sand, and a lot of heat. And there was no water to drink. And the people complained. Let me defend their complaining. Let me defend their complaining. These are people who came out of Egypt, and here they had livestock, like they said, they got children. What do you want them to do? When little children will go to their mama and say, Mama, I'm thirsty. Mama, I need water. And mama herself is thirsty. So they did what human beings do. At such instances, they grumble. They complained. But that's not the only two things. They did not just grumbling and complaining. They forgot to. Why did I say they forgot? Because that morning, if we are reading the same story of the children of Israel's journey from Egypt to Canaan, they must have picked manna. Because they picked manna every day. So they picked that manna that was miraculous. God supplied their manna, they ate. But listen to me. The fact that God gave you manna in the morning does not mean He will not test you at Meribah. So in the afternoon, the test came, no water. This same set of people who enjoyed the miracle of God in the morning started to grumble. Why did you bring us here? Why did you bring us here? Do you want to kill us and our children and our livestock? They were rallying against Moses. They were railing against him. They were using all forms of words. And the children of Israel can speak. Is the Lord among us? Are you sure He's still here? Maybe He's gone on holiday. They said all these kind of things, not knowing that Jehovah was testing them. He was testing them. That's what the Bible says. Right there at Meribah, God was testing for trust. That was why in Psalm chapter 95, verse 9, He said, they rebelled against me after tasting my works. They've seen what I can do. The journey started when God was doing those awesome things in Egypt. He took them out of the place with a very awesome strong hand, and He brought them into the wilderness. And here, you lack water. When will you begin to trust the Lord? So they complained. They failed that test at Meribah. They complained on the day that God was expecting trust. And how does it concern us? We all go through Meribahs occasionally. After God has done many things in our life, He allows something to be difficult for a little bit of time. Maybe it's not going like you planned, and then you go back into elements of complaining, of grumbling, of murmuring. It means that you've not learned to trust the Lord. I must tell you the truth. God loved those who trust Him. You remember? Abraham believed the Lord, and it was counted for him as righteousness. God loves people to trust Him. Actually, if you don't grow in any other thing, it's better for you to grow in trust. For it is joyful to the heart of God when people learn to trust Him. If you learn to trust Him, you won't stay longer at Meribah. Listen to this. God knew where there was water. How will He give them manna, knowing that they will need water and not give His people water? Actually, their redemption was God's idea. A promise made before Israel came to be. He started the journey from Egypt. He knew where He was taking them to. All He wanted them to do was trust Him. They failed Him 40 days when they started taking Canaan. They said, we cannot. They couldn't trust the Lord. They have traveled a few years into the wilderness. He's testing them again. Will these people trust me now? Leave the children of Israel. I can tell you in all truth that you are passing through the same kind of journey. God wants you to trust Him. He wants you to trust Him. Many of the things God allows, He can take away without your knowing they exist. But He doesn't want you to be a lily-livered child of God. So occasionally, He allowed these things to peep out so He will know how much you trust Him. Actually, true faith can sing in tribulation. When you truly trust the Lord, you can begin to rejoice in the redemption that you know will come at every time of trial. Ladies and gentlemen, God loved those who trust Him. God loved David. When David said, I killed the lion by the strength of the Lord, I killed the bear by the strength of the Lord, and this uncircumcised Philistine, I will take too. That's trust. Resting on the past acts of God, David said, I'm going to be victorious, and he was. Not like many of us. We trust the Lord, we tell testimonies in church when He has done something awesome, but when the next problem comes, we start to shake like lily-livered cowards. You are not the only one who has failed. I failed at many Meribahs before. I will tell you one. When I answered the call, the Lord said to me, never to beg. It was an instruction, never to beg. I will take care of you, He said. Oh, these 30-something years, the Lord has taken good care of me. But there was this occasion, a time when for me it was not water, it was food. I was just minding my business one day after praying for a while, when my wife just came and said, Wale, today I'm cooking the last rice we have in the house. There's nothingness. I don't know when you hear such news, how it eats your belly and your head start to swell. No food in the house, no money in my pocket. Why? I disobeyed God. I couldn't pray anymore. The only thing in my head is to call one rich friend. So I took my phone and I called him and said, it was the first time I did it, and by the grace of God, this is the last time I will ever do it. He said, friend, things are tough. Can I have some help from you? The moment I said it, I became sad. I knew I was failing trust, but there was the reality of no rice in the house. So I took my car, I had a quarter tank. The guy called me, he said, I should go to a specific place, I don't want to mention, that he has instructed his brother to give me an envelope. I had to travel out of Ibadan. All the way on that journey, I was feeling sad and sadder and sadder until I got there. And this guy gave me the envelope. I bought some fuel from the money inside the envelope, and I started the journey back. It was a slow journey. My heart was sinking. I knew I should trust the Lord. I didn't just have the strength to. As I was about to get back into Ibadan, I heard him say, park. So I parked. And he said to me, you've gone for your money. Can I now give you mine? And as I put down my phone, the phone rang. Somebody I taught in his Bible school called me to say, sir, we're looking at our records, we're closing the year, and we discover we didn't pay you for your last so teaching on so subject. And he sent me the exact amount that my rich friend gave me. God is always having a provision. There's water in a rock close by. If you're not careful, it is because you are not trusting God that that water is not gushing out. He would not take you into the wilderness without thoughts of water. He doesn't want you to die. He has water in his plan for you. And so when it is this very rocky Horeb to one side and sand, hot, loose sand of the desert to the other, trust the Lord. There's water there. You can see it, but he knows where it is. And if you will just wait patiently and trust him completely, he will tell you where to strike and water will gush out. I know Nigeria is passing through a time that is like Horeb. We are passing through rocky times. This is the time that those who do know the Lord, they will trust him and he will show himself awesome in their life. Please hold on, my brother. Turn unto God first. And if you're ever going to look unto man, let it be by his direction. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift his countenance over you and may he give you peace. Shalom.